Welcome back to another episode of Making Cancer from Household Materials. So in the last episode we made benzene for PT, which was pretty cool. So I decided we're gonna make another aromatic cycle. And it's going to be pyridine. Pyridine? Pyridine? I don't know, whatever. But unlike the other videos out there, we're gonna do everything in one video. We're also gonna make a complex with the pyridine, and we're gonna try to burn it. And yeah, it does smell like dead fish somewhat. Anyway, now let's get started. So the first step is to make a salt that is called basic copper carbonate. It's very easy to do, and it only takes one step. We need any copper salt, like this blue copper sulfate, and react it with sodium carbonate, which is often sold as a cleaning supply or a pool supply. And the basic carbonate will then precipitate, and we can just filter and dry it. Alright. So here we have about 50 grams of copper sulfate, and here we have how much? 21, yeah, alright, 21. It doesn't matter if you have a slight excess of this one, it's fine. Alright. Alright, now we add some water. This one. Let's water this one as well. And now we're going to fill the plate. Alright, now let's stir everything. After everything has dissolved, we put a sodium carbonate solution in the copper sulfate, and you can immediately observe the beautiful blue precipitate. But after a few seconds, the reaction really starts and CO2 gas is emitted and makes this disgusting foam. I hate foam. Alright, now that we have finished adding everything, we're gonna filter it with this, the big ass setup. I didn't have any bottles of the right size left. I had, I think, this kind of thing left and this, but I wasn't sure it was gonna be enough, because there's quite a bit of volume, 200 milliliters, yeah. So anyway, we're just gonna use the big one. So I don't know why it's green under. Probably some copper left. Maybe the copper, the basic copper carbonate is slightly soluble. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but anyway, we should have most of the product right here. And I'm gonna wait till tomorrow because this is the night. I'm gonna go to bed and it should be filtered. When it had filtered overnight, I then needed to dry it completely before using it for the pyridine. So I tried using this big pan, but sadly it didn't work because the pan reacted with the basic copper carbonate, which is a shame. You always hate to see a pan react and ruin your chemicals. And it's kinda dumb because it's not the first time it has happened to me. I just don't learn my lesson, I guess. So yeah, I had to do this whole step again, but I didn't have any more copper sulfate, so I made some with electrolysis and repeated everything. I won't go into much detail on the electrolysis, but basically you have to use 2 copper electrodes in sulfuric acid, and with some magic it works. You can also add some hydrogen peroxide, I think, but yeah, whatever. Okay, so the solution has dried up. I left it for a little bit longer and it started to splash, but everything was contained. As you can see, there's a little bit of traces, but like, yeah, there are quite a bit of traces, not gonna lie. But at least we've got most of it inside. That's the important part. And it seems dry, but not on the sides. Like if I try to scrape this,
doesn't show on camera because it doesn't. Ah, yes. Here you can see it's a little bit wet, you know, compared to here, where it's good. Here it's a little bit wet. So I'm gonna wait a little bit more, maybe put it on the heat again, and then I'm gonna scrape off everything and wet it. So I scraped what I could, and we've got all of this. So I think that's pretty good. We're gonna wet it right now. Just before I want to get rid of what's on the stick. About 12 grams. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good amount. That's enough for the pyridine.
In the second step, our reagent is niacin. I got mine from a friend, but it's sold online as vitamin B3. If you take a look at the structure of niacin, you can see that it's just a pyridine with a CO2 attached to it. So with the help of our catalyst and some heat, we can separate the CO2 and distill a nice pyridine. This reaction is known as decarboxylation, but since it's not the first time I do one in a video, I won't go into much detail.
Okay, so we've got around 26 grams, and that means we need, I think, 6 or 7 grams of catalyst. And let's add 7 grams, just in case. We never know. 1 gram more is not gonna hurt anything.
Anyway, we rate our two powders and mix them thoroughly in the mortar and pestle.
So yeah, anyway, I'm pouring everything inside of the beaker so that it's easier to transport. And then we're gonna make the apparatus and start the reaction. So what I do as well is that I grease up most of the joints that we're gonna use with this kind of, I think it's some motor oil. I didn't find anything else, but it has to do for this time because I don't have anything else. And you know, pyridine smells, so I decided to grease everything. And I mean, it works quite well. Like, I mean, it really works well. So I don't know if it's a suitable oil, but it works very well for now. I've greased here, and here for now, but I'm probably gonna have a flask on there, I think, maybe the 500 milliliters. Here I've put the 250 milliliters. I'm gonna put some aluminum foil because, you know, this is a small surface area. We're gonna increase this, and we're just gonna pour in all of the powder inside, and put the thermometer on top, of course, and the water, of course. Alright, so here we have the end outlet of the tube. So what I'm gonna do is a little trap because I don't want to smell the pyridine, and I don't want to die as well. And the trap is gonna consist of an inverted funnel, as always. And in the water of the trap, it's not gonna be water, of course. There's gonna be some hydrochloric acid, which will neutralize the pyridine to make pyridine HCl. So it's gonna be a salt, non-volatile. I mean, in water it's not really volatile. So here we have the whole setup, as you can see. Don't you find it annoying when you have a 2-neck or 3-neck round bottom flask and you need to put aluminum on it, but you can't wrap the two? You need to choose one or the other. It is so annoying each time. Maybe this is a personal thing, I don't know, but yeah, so we're gonna hit this. I put it to the max, but that's only to start, because we don't wanna hit too much, otherwise it will destroy the niacin. So that's only for the start. Then I'm gonna slow down a little bit, put it on medium or something like this. And yeah, I think the temperature to not reach is 250 degrees, I think. And it should be fine because my hot plate is not that strong, you know, it's it's not that strong, it cannot be strong, there's no way. Alright. Okay, so as we can see, the mix is distilling over, making some fumes, some tar here. So here the distillation is finished. You can see inside it looks like absolute tar. This is the best tar I've ever made. On the wall is actually some niacin that's distilled or sublimated. I don't know if it's what it does. Here I have some sublimated as well. Some pyridine leftover, some more pyridine leftover, some more sublimated. And in the flask you have not that much, but a little bit of it. So that's fine. The expected yield is around 7 to 8 milliliters, considering we're gonna get a little bit more than 50% yield, I think. I was just starting to clean, things with just quickly with some water because pyridine is soluble. And look at what I found. They look so cool. So I think that's the niacin that's sublimated, and it makes those so cool crystals. Like, damn. Okay guys, so here I've put the rest of the pyridine. Some of it has crystallized. I don't know if it's the pyridine or maybe the niacin salt. I think it is. And yeah, we're just gonna distill. So I didn't put the condenser here because, well, it's gonna condense anyway, if we don't hit too much, because we have really a very small amount of product, so we don't care. So we're finally starting to distill something, as you can see here, some condensation, and the temperature is good, 90 degrees, that's fine. That's about what we expect. So we should see some drops. Yeah, boy, nice. Alright boys, so here we have the bottle. Let me show you how it looks because it's pretty damn beautiful. How can I show you? Yeah, maybe here you can see. The difference of color. Yeah, very beautiful. It's much more visible in real life, but anyway. It's gonna go with all of the other things right there. Let's put it behind because I'm not gonna use it every day, lol. Alright. Quite a big collection. Here we have the benzene on the left, some nitric acid, some toluene, many things. Alright, so here I have the leftover beaker with the leftover pyridine, because it's very sticky, so there was maybe 1 gram left, something like this. So I've added some more water to dilute it, and we're gonna try and make some complexes with the copper. So here we have the basic copper carbonate from before. So we have 6 grams left, I measured. So we're gonna take a little bit, put it inside this test tube, add some hydrochloric acid to make some copper chloride, and we're gonna try to dump it a little bit in the pyridine. So if we actually do the opposite and try to take some pyridine like this and put it inside, look. This beautiful dark blue complex. It's amazing, but the thing is that it disappears when you stir. So yeah, no more complex, but it was beautiful for an instant at least. So I'm not gonna waste any more pyridine. I've already wasted like 2 or 3 grams, and if I need it for something in the future, or So now we're gonna try to set a little bit of pyridine again on fire, because I've never seen that on YouTube. So hopefully. Alright, a little bit. I'm gonna close the bottle off. I swear this is the last time I use pyridine. I don't want to use it anymore. I'm gonna try to let it on fire. Okay, so it is a bit... Oh, finally! Okay, so it is a bit capricious, but it finally started a fire.
Anyway, remember to leave a like, subscribe, do the things. Check the Discord. I have a Discord in the description, in the comments. I think I've posted the Discord. And maybe check out the Patreon if you want to fund me, because experiments are costful, And if you want more video, you know what to do, I'm not saying anything, but yeah. Yeah. See you next time. Bye.
You can see it burns with the classic soot, the disgusting kind of soot.